warmed up, let's get started. So let's do our side to side lunges here first. Stretching out each side, sinking into the hips. Good, let's do some twisting punches. Warming up the core, the spine. Let's go into just some windmills, bringing the arms up overhead and gliding them back behind us. Good, and let's just do some overhead push presses, so pushing up overhead and squeezing down using the back. Pressing up, trying to go right next to our ears, pulling down. Squeezing those back muscles as we pull down. Same thing, pushing out front. Squeezing back. Get nice and warm up here. Feel the squeeze pushing out. Squeeze down back. Good. Let's go ahead, just come into some butt kicks next. Let's go into some front kicks here now. So stepping back, kicking out. Working a little bit of balance, planting the one foot. Gonna go about 4 or 5 on each foot. When you're ready, go ahead and switch. Going at your own pace, whatever that is for you. Good, when you're done, we're gonna do side kicks now. So we're coming up and out, up, out. Go ahead and switch here if you haven't yet. Can you guys hear me okay? I have the music on.
Okay, I can hear you.
Okay, I just want to make sure the music wasn't like, I don't know how well you could hear it or what, so. Okay. Good, let's go ahead and do some back kicks now. Right up, kicking back and back. Squeezing that glute here. I want to warm up the glute and hamstrings. Good, when you're ready, go ahead and switch. Getting that heart rate up. All right, next, let's go ahead. I want us to come into whatever a low squat looks like for us, okay? So I know we just did these maybe a week or so ago. We're trying to come on into kind of a wide squat, so we want our legs a little bit wider, almost into that Sumo Squat position, toes pointed about 45. We want to just try to sit our hips back, okay? We're going to sit back into that squat if you can, coming into that yogi squat. Moving through it. Maybe you're feeling, maybe your heels have to come up. You want to try to work towards having those heels down, flat feet. Maybe pressing your elbows out in the inner thighs and inner knees. Go ahead, come up and kind of shake it out. We're going to do it one more time, okay? When you're ready, coming into it, sitting those hips back first, coming down into that yogi squat. Okay, coming up when you're ready. All right, shaking it out. We're gonna start today, so 8 to 12 repetitions with Sumo Squat. You might want no weights with this, you might want 1 weight, 2 weights, whatever you have. I'm gonna go with just 1 weight this morning. So Sumo Squat, legs are nice and wide, feet are pointed about 45 degrees. You can have the weight in front, whatever feels comfortable. 8 to 12 repetitions when you're ready. If you have a little bit heavier weight, maybe you're only doing 8 repetitions. If you have a little bit lighter, going for that good 12, really feeling the movement, sitting back in those hips, coming up. Feel the inner thighs and glutes working. Breathe. Nice strong core. We don't want to be coming forward like this. Want to be nice and upright, seeing what's in front of us. Okay, so we're actually coming to the floor next. With your lighter weights, you're probably gonna want, if you have that option. All right, we're gonna do the lying around the world. So this is the chest one. It's kind of a newer one. We're coming to our back here. And this is the one where we start out in that overhead or that over chest press here. And we come out nice and wide into that fly. And we come up by our ears. And then we squeeze up using our chest. Okay? Coming out wide, overhead, squeezing with the chest. 8 to 12 if you can. Breathing, coming nice and wide, nice and controlling our chest. Having a hard time bringing that arm up to the ear. Might either one have too much weight or you might have some shoulder mobility issues. When you have finished, take a breath. We're gonna stay on the floor. Awesome, setting those weights to the side. All right, our favorites, diamond push-ups, okay? Most of us need to probably drop to our knees. So basically a close grip push-up. You don't have to make a diamond with your hand if you don't want to. You can just have your hands nice and close. Gonna work our triceps coming from the knees here, okay? Making sure we're still holding a nice plank. We don't wanna be sitting back over, coming into this position. Still wanna be into that plank too. So hands are nice and close here, dropping our chest down as much as we can, pressing through. All right, 8 to 12. If you're just starting out, maybe 5 is enough, and that is totally fine. If you're more advanced, feel free to drop or come up on those toes if you want more of a challenge. Coming down, squeezing up. I'm gonna stay on my knees. You can do it, keep breathing through. We like to hold our breath, keep breathing. Woo. Okay, checking that out. Still on the floor. I'm gonna turn over. We do squirms. Laying on our back. Knees are up, bent up. All we're trying to do, first of all, we're trying to look up towards the ceiling. We don't want to be cranking our neck, looking towards between our legs. We'll be looking up towards the ceiling, bringing the shoulders off of the floor. We're trying to reach for each side here. So 8 to 12 on each side. Okay. Feeling that squeeze in our sides. So hitting a couple different abdominal muscles at once here. If you're struggling, feel free to just do a couple. Take a rest back down, especially if you're feeling like your neck's starting to crank up. Breathing. Good, taking a breath. We will need some weights here. Depending on your ability, and you can probably do either lighter or heavier. This is actually going to be a new exercise. You haven't done this in class yet. It's called a Pendlay Row. So Pendlay Row. So we'll take our dumbbells. It's gonna probably be easier if you have a flatter one. If not, you have to kind of make do. But so we're gonna lay the dumbbells face up. I don't know if you guys can see them. This is how I have them. So coming into a Pendlay row. So every time we're coming into this row, we're coming back down so the weights are dropped. So there's gonna be a split break in between each exercise, or each repetition, I should say. But we're coming into a nice row position. So we wanna sit back on our hips, right? And making sure we have that nice position, squeezing our glutes. We don't wanna have a lot of pressure in our low back when we're doing this. But we're staying in that position. So we're coming down here, we're gonna pick up the weights, and come into that row, coming all the way down, drop for a second, coming up, drop. Okay, so we're coming into that nice row, and drop. Squeezing those back muscles. We want to squeeze the shoulder blades together towards the spine like we're pinching a pencil between the shoulders. Great back builder because we're having to support our core the entire time. Good job, ladies. If you're done taking a breath, walk in place. Okay, this next one is also another new one. Depending on the dumbbells you have at home, we're gonna try it this way, but I want you to place your dumbbells flat now, side by side, okay? So hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah, it looks like you guys can see it, okay. Okay, so side by side here. All right, hopefully they're not gonna roll on us. This is the big thing. So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna separate in front of them. We're gonna try just putting our heels on like the handle of the dumbbell, okay? Hopefully you guys can see me. Okay, so we just want our heels slightly elevated. If you have anything else at home, you can feel free to put your heels on that. If you have like a little box or I don't know, anything like that, you can just prop your heels up. So this is called a Sissy Squat. Come into the other angle. We're gonna work our quads here, front of our legs. Okay. So what we're doing, first of all, we want to have a nice strong core. We never want to feel a lot of pressure in our back with this one. Okay. So it's gonna be kind of like the limbo. That's what it's gonna feel like you're doing because we're actually gonna come back into that motion. Okay. But we want to have a nice strong core when we're doing this. So we're coming back. So I usually do this when my arms just cross in front of me here. So we're coming back. At the same time, we want to actually put our knees over our toes. So this is the one time where we're okay with our knees totally coming over those toes. Okay? So it's gonna feel like you're doing a matrix move. So those knees are coming over the toes, crossing those hands. We're coming back to about where I'm at. Maybe you're able to go down further, great. But then we're standing up straight. You should feel that in the front of your quads. So coming back here, standing up straight. Okay? These feel too easy, you can feel free to have a weight in front of you if you want. Come into those Sissy Squats. Working our quads. How are we doing with this, ladies? Okay. This is a hard one to teach for the first time over the Zoom. I was hoping to do this in person. That's okay. Are we feeling those quads?
Uh-huh.
Good. Breathing through it. All right, good work. We're gonna come into some curls next. You might actually want your lighter ones with this one. Coming into the W curls, all right? So I'm making a W out of our elbows. Want to make sure our elbows aren't up. Some people make the mistake of kind of coming like this, so the elbows are straight out. We want to bring those elbows down, kind of to our sides, making that W, okay? And then we're extending out as fully as we can, curling all the way up, okay? Nice neutral grip in the wrist. We don't want to be flexed here, extended. Nice strong grip. Curling up, using our biceps, feeling our arms here. Feeling our shoulders burn a little bit just by supporting the rest of our arm. Good, feeling that extension all the way out and then squeezing up. Checking in with our wrists all the time. Okay, last thing. I'm not sure if you're guys want your lighter or heavier weights, so you're just gonna have to see. I'm gonna go my heavier weights, but these are only 10s today. So, coming in to an overhead arm press, but just one arm at a time. So normal overhead arm press, we come up right this, right? All we're doing is just one arm at a time. Okay, so one arm comes up, and we're flip-flopping. Okay, 8 to 12 on each side, depending on what weight you got. Nice strong core. We don't want to be into a back bend, anything like that. Want to be into that nice core. We don't want to kind of come into the position either where we're rocking back and forth into like a side crunch. The entire core nice and steady. Whew, my shoulders are burning. Woo! Whenever you finish, this is where we're going to take a little break, grab a drink, walk in place, whatever you want to do here.
Holy moly.
Yeah, shoulders.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take about 20 seconds here, and then we're going to start back up from the top one more time through. Taking a deep breath. 10 seconds, we're going to start off with Sumo Squats. Deciding what weight you want to do. Maybe you did a little bit lighter, you want to go heavier now, or vice versa. Feel free. All right, getting ready for Sumo Squats here. Legs nice and wide, toes pointed about 45 degrees. When you're ready, 8 to 12 repetitions. Squeeze those glutes, sitting them back here, squeezing them forward, get that nice hip hinge. Good, nice supported core, not coming forward. Maybe we're only dropping to about halfway where I'm at, maybe you're right here. That's fine. Work with what you got. Okay, going to the floor with our lighter weights. All right, knees can be bent up here, coming into the lying around the roads. Weights are above our chest, coming out nice and wide into kind of a fly. And those arms are coming up next to our ears, squeezing with our chest on the way up. Nice, supported, controlled shoulders and chest throughout this movement. Get 8 to 12 reps, keep breathing, squeezing here, doing good. job, ladies. When you are done, we're gonna set those weights to the side. Come into our fun diamond push-ups. Again, drop into like a nice height or nice knee plank here. Hands are a little bit closer together. Dropping the chest down, squeezing up, breathing through here. You can do it. Do it, ladies. These are hard. I'm struggling too today. Woo. Even the stomach gets a little on fire from holding that plank. All right. Come into laying on our back again. Gonna come into squirms next. Some core work. Lay on our back. Again, looking up towards the ceiling, not between our legs. Bring those shoulders off the floor. Coming side to side, 8 to 12 each side. Feel that squeeze each side that when we're doing this. If you need a break, take that break for your neck. No problem with that. When you're ready, squeezing the shoulders off the floor again. Okay, we're coming into our new Pendlay Row. So deciding what weight you want to do with that. All right, setting up our weights where we need them. Coming into a good, nice low row position here, hinging those hips back, right? When you're ready, coming into that row, squeeze those shoulder blades back behind you. We want the elbows to try to stay as close to our body as we can. They'll naturally come out just a little bit. Nice, strong back. Yeah. I'm a little sweaty already. Okay. Coming in to Sissy Squat. So wherever you have to prop up your heels. Gonna work on the front of our legs. Propping up those heels. You can cross those arms in front of us, or if you want to wait, have a weight in front of us as well. Letting those knees kind of come over as we tilt back into like a matrix or a limbo, squeezing up using those quads. And you might be only going about halfway where I am, and that's enough for you to feel here. That's perfectly fine. Do what you can. Doing good, ladies. Keep it up. Nice strong core here. All right, we're gonna run probably our lighter weights if you have that option. W curls next. Again, come into that W, making sure those elbows don't come up Into that nice W, extending out, squeezing up. Hitting those arms, biceps, shoulder stability. Nice wrists, we want to make sure we're not curled or extended. That can make the movement a little bit not as challenging as we would like. It takes a lot of pressure on our wrists, so we want to make sure that we're not doing that either. When you finish taking a breath, we're gonna get ready for our one arm overhead presses, deciding what weight you want to do here. 8 to 12 each side. Okay, when you're ready, nice supported core, right? We're not doing a back bend with this one. We're not sinking our hips to each side. Press up all the way overhead before we come back down. My shoulders are burning. Getting stronger though. Woo! Awesome. If you guys are able to stay, we can do a little cool down together here. Grab a drink if you want one. Okay. Let's go ahead and do some just standing side stretches. Just gonna reach up, overhead, sinking into that opposite hip, feeling a stretch here. Making sure we're not coming forward. I want to come directly to that side and go ahead and switch. Let's cactus those arms down, bring them back behind us. Nice and slow. Roll off those shoulders up to the ears. Down. Let's come to the floor. Okay. Trying to reach for our toes, legs up together, just a nice seated forward fold. I'm about my shins today. I'm a little tight in the hamstrings. Trying to just breathe, relax through it. Maybe after every exhale, try to reach just a little further. Good, nice and slow. Let's come back and out of that. Let's do figure four. So you're gonna cross over one leg. Bring it up. Once you get in that position, you can kind of make some adjustments. Maybe you're trying to straighten out your spine here a little bit. Maybe you're trying to sink in. You're trying to scoop forward, feeling more of a stretch in that outer hip. Good. Let's go ahead. Nice and slow out. We'll switch. Cross it over the other ankle. Feel a nice stretch. We want to make sure we're not having a curved back. We want to have a nice straight spine. Pressing those shoulders away from our ears a little bit. And feel that outer hip stretch. Good. Go ahead and let's come out of that. Let's go ahead and come into the runner's lunge. So coming up, one knee's on the floor, one leg is up. One of my favorite for the hip flexors here. So front of that hip here, want to squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, and you can kind of lean forward more into that. Trying to press this hip forward, pull this knee back, that hip back. Then I want us to come back. First, I want us to try to keep our foot on the floor. We don't want to come all the way straight so our toes are up. I want to try to keep that foot on the floor. Coming back as much as you can. As you can see, I still have a little bit of a bend. Some of you are pretty good and you can do it straight with the toes pointed. I do not have that ankle mobility yet. And then let's go ahead and come all the way straight. You can put your hands at your hips here if you want to and lean forward. Or if you're able to reach the ground, great. Another nice hamstring stretch. Trying to actively pull your toes up now. I'm going to feel that even into our calf when we do that. And let's come up and out. We'll switch. All right, so hitting that hip flexor first. Squeezing, pulling this leg back. Now this hip back. This one's coming forward. That hip's coming forward. Squeeze the glutes and squeezing the core. You will feel that more. Good, and let's sit back. Again, let's try putting our entire foot on the floor. Feel that stretch in the front of our foot. Maybe a little better on this side for me. And then nice and slow, nice straight leg. Now we're gonna pull our toes up towards us as we hinge those hips back behind us. Good, and let's come up and out. Okay, we're gonna do thread the needle for some upper body and some spinal stuff. So first we're gonna bring one hand up. We're gonna be on all fours. Bring that hand up. We're gonna slide it through. And we're gonna bring the that back of that shoulder on the floor and our ear also to the floor. Trying to feel an opening between the shoulders. Nice and slow. We're gonna come up, hand over towards the ceiling, back down. We're gonna switch. Hand comes up. Sliding it through, threading the needle. It will come to the floor. Nice opening in our back between the shoulders. And nice and slow, coming up and down. Let's come to seated. A couple more things and you'll be done. So first we're gonna do, I want us to come into handcuff first. So just trying to bring the backs of our hands here, seeing where we are. We want our middle finger aligned with our spine if we can. Good, then nice and slow, I want us to transition into clasping our hands back behind us. Nice straight arms. We're gonna squeeze those shoulder blades down and back, opening up our chest here. And then you can kind of hinge the hips if you need to a little bit. Then we're just gonna try to bring those hands up, back behind us as much as we can. Good. Relax, we're gonna do just a couple neck stretches. First, we're gonna try to reach, pushing away with one hand. We're gonna try to bring this opposite ear to our shoulder without bringing that shoulder up. I feel it stretch hopefully in this trap. You can kind of come back and forth, maybe feeling how it stretches a little bit differently. I definitely like to come forward, so coming back, I feel more of that stretch. Good. Relaxing, we're gonna come to the other side. Move the head, you can even move the arm, kind of mess around with it, feel how it stretches differently in that neck trap muscle. Good, and kind of shake out the shoulders, and that's where we'll end for today.